Are you looking to learn how minimalism can grow your wallet? Well, buckle up, because today in 5 Friday Feedback, we're talking all about it.
Let's do it. I love this. I love a good minimalist podcast.
Yeah, minimalist podcast. We're not going to talk at all. It's going to be very minimalist.
Very, all subtitles.
We've been wearing our minimalist shirts.
Exactly.
Straight black, straight gray.
Exactly. That's it. I love it. Well, yeah, today we're talking about minimalism. So let's get right into it. What even is minimalism for the ones that didn't watch Monday's episode?
You should definitely go rewatch Monday's episode, if not, where we talked all about it. But we're just going to be a recap, and then we'll go into our 5 Friday Feedback, as always, and win of the week. But minimalism is really the act of focusing your life by intentional living and eliminating excess possessions.
Okay. Simple enough to understand.
Simple enough. It's really just addition through subtraction. Addition of life, addition of joy, addition of finding peace through getting rid of some of the minutia of what we have around the house.
Yeah, the clutter.
The clutter.
The clutter in the physical presence and in the mental presence. Mm-hmm. And maybe emotional.
Yeah, and even emotional, I would say. I think they all work together. Mm-hmm. And I think the mental clutter is something we didn't even talk about on Monday's pod. Maybe we can get into that today.
Definitely.
I can think about like even my desk that I work at. If it is cluttered, then I feel like my mind is cluttered and I really can't focus on a lot of things. So
I feel the same way with my bedroom. Mm-hmm. Like if I wake up and I don't make my bed, it like messes with me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I come into this room, I'm like, really? You gonna start this day off cluttered? And I know most of the people probably watching this don't make their bed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
That's horrible.
I can't do that.
Yeah. You know who you are.
You are.
I know you. Go make a bed. But yeah, no. So we defined minimalism.
We define minimalism. I mean, at its core, minimalism is about owning fewer possessions so you can focus most on what matters.
Yes, I like that because I don't want to spend all my time focused on stuff that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Like for Chris, you don't want to focus on editing.
I don't want to focus on anything.
I just want to be.
I just want to be existing.
I just want to live, bro. Yeah, no, I feel that. So the core principles.
Yeah, the core principles of it. I mean, it really comes down to simplification, mindfulness, consciousness, like being
alive,
conscious,
breathing.
Yeah, conscious consumption, I think would be the best way of doing it. I mean, how many people they go through life thinking that, if I'm not happy, so if I just need to get this next promotion, make this next money, and then I'm still not happy because I made that more money. Maybe it's kind of need to go and like spend it. I need to buy happiness. Mm-hmm. I need to find the right table, the right bath mat, the right car, the right next purchase. And you're spending money that you don't have in order to find this happiness. And the happiness isn't coming. So you just keep on thinking to yourself, it must just be right around the corner.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost there. I just need to buy a little bit more. And people live their entire life in this cycle of spending in order to feel happy, never really questioning, is it the items that I'm purchasing that could ever bring me joy?
It's interesting that you said that because when you were talking about that, it kind of reminded me of like a gambling addict. Mm-hmm. It's that next spin, that next bet that's gonna put me over the top. It's gonna bring me back. That's gonna make me rich. It's gonna be that thing, mm-hmm. and it never happens.
Yeah, I would equate it to an addiction.
Yeah,
100% it's addiction. We as a society, due to marketing and what it's done to our brains, I think the average person, last time I saw this was 2019, sees 5,000 ads a day.
It's a lot of ads.
5,000 ads telling you that you are not enough without X product, without this new shake and bake or whatever the fuck it's like. Do you remember those things? Shake and bake? But
yeah, I have a weird story with that.
Oh,
do you want to hear it? Yeah. So my dad, he's like, when I die, he's like, I don't want to be buried. He's like, I want to be, and this is the term he used. He's like, I want to shake and bake. That's what so when you say shake and bake for the food, for like chicken, that's what I equate it to. I'm like, cremation.
Oh, I'm just thinking of Talladega Nights.
Oh, yeah?
You ever seen Talladega Nights?
It's been a long time.
With the body where it's like shake and bake. That's the whole thing.
I haven't seen that, dude. I don't remember that, but
that's a good movie.
That's a funny one. If you're a Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah, I'm a Will Ferrell fan. Definitely. Where were we at? We were talking about something important.
Talking about shake and bakes. I was talking about 5,000 ads every day.
Thank you. They're talking about 5,000 ads a day telling you that you are not enough. So we have become habituated to this longing for more and constantly striving to get more. And it's just the exact same thing as an addict of, if I get this next thing, it'll finally be there. I'll finally be at my destination. Mm-hmm. And then you realize that, that wasn't the right place because the items were never going to get you to the destination. And that is the great part and the bad part, the drawbacks of our mind and being able to habituate to whatever is new and normal. Mm-hmm. For example, if you're listening to the podcast right now, maybe you're in a room and you there's other sounds going on inside the room, right? But you don't hear them anymore after 10, 20 minutes of being in the sound.
Yeah.
Your body habituates to it. Same with, being outside, or like for us here in Arizona. Does the heat suck when it's hot? Yeah. But after like 2 or 3 months of it being over 100 degrees, like you just kind of like, okay, it's going to be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a deal as the first day of summer when it's 100 degrees.
Yeah. When you have to hit that air conditioner for the first time in like 6 months, and you're like, damn, it's rough out here. Yeah, I know the feeling.
But then after a few months of it, you're just like, this is just normal.
This is our life now.
And that's where people kind of fall into the same exact trap with spending money and purchasing new things. It just becomes normal. You never even question it.
No, I think that that's like what we're talking about, conscious consumption. You got to be conscious. You got to be aware of your actions to make better actions and improve your life, rather than just like, oh, you know what? The McRib is back. I saw it on a billboard. That's where we're going for lunch today. Yep. It's like,
The
no.
McRib is back for a limited time for only 10 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then the nice thing about minimalism too, from being able to focus on consuming less, it actually even helps us with financial independence, because when we're able to streamline our finances, when we're able to reduce expenses, we're able to amplify our savings rates. And those things all work hand in hand. I mean, just by us purchasing less, we are saving more. When we purchase less, we are spending less. Therefore, our FI number gets to be reduced. And we're saving faster. So it's really giving us a double whammy on being able to get to financial independence sooner, where you get to live a life of intention. You can do whatever the hell you want every single day and grow in whatever way or shape or form that you find that you see as fit for your life.
Yeah, spending your money in the way that you truly want it to be spent, rather than just mindlessly spending it on, you might be stress buying, you might be buying it because on sale, flash deal, or, not having your money and your goals aligned is really, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. How would you explain that? It just makes it unbalanced.
It makes life unbalanced. And that's what we're trying to find is balance. I mean, it was Socrates that said, know thyself. And how many people we're sad, we're feeling, shoot, might even be hungry. So rather than going and like eating something, you go on Amazon and you like buy some random thing that's going to quench your hunger.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but we all do these things. And until we become conscious of it, until we start like to actually think about it and say like, do I really need this? Will purchasing this blender satisfy my hunger right now? No, of course it won't.
That's what the McRib is for.
That's what the McRib is for. That's why it's back for 10 months only.
10 months only. Download the app.
Download the app, bro.
No, don't eat a McRib. Don't eat a McRib, dude. Please. Get an apple or something healthy in you, please.
I never go to McDonald's.
I can't.
I think the last time I went to McDonald's was in November. So we were visiting some friends, and they're like, "Oh, well, let's just go to we're in Arrowhead in California.
Yeah,
it's like a small mountain town. Let's go to the village and we'll see what's there." And there's like nothing open because it's like a Monday. Except for McDonald's.
Yeah,
so McDonald's, and like they're like, "Hey, the McRib is back. Only 11 months to go, and then it's gonna go away." And then so I was like, "Okay, I'll get a McRib. I haven't had a McRib since I was like 6."
It doesn't slap the same.
It was so
Dude,
bad.
It's rough.
I ate the fries and I had to just going to get a McFlurry.
Yeah, something about like the nostalgia. It's either, I mean, their food has changed.
Has it? Okay.
Well, I mean, from when you were like a child, and like it was just like, oh wow, we're down McDonald's. Like it felt like the greatest thing in the world.
I don't know. I think maybe your taste buds have changed, because if you tasted SpaghettiOs since you were a kid,
it's probably true.
It tastes like they just put ketchup in a can and then they just put some O's in there.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Maybe I have been evolving.
Yeah, maybe it's you who has evolved and they have not.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, mindful spending.
Yeah, mindful spending. Yeah, so aligning our values and prioritizing experience over possessions.
Yes.
How many of us do we? I mean, I can think of my own life of so many times where I have gone ahead and you go on Amazon and you purchase 10 things at $10 each, $160, where that $160 could have purchased me a plane ticket to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I could have, rather than purchasing 10 things that like freaking 10 months later I ended up getting rid of because they were just sitting there and they collected dust, or I never even took them out of the damn package.
Yeah.
Or I could have done something where I've gone and seen family, seen friends.
I thought you were going to say seen vampires.
Could have gone Transylvania.
For $160 you can see some live action vampires, bro.
No, you can go and see friends, because so many people think like, oh, in order to have an experience, it has to cost money. But
$1,000.
Yeah. Can I just like right now go to Portland and like go see my best friend and like cost whatever the plane ride ticket is, and then whatever it costs to eat. And if I don't want to really eat, I'll just eat his food and it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It costs like nothing.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think I love spontaneous trips like that. I really do, especially when you're in a financially good position.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go take a trip to LA. It's like, this is my last dollar.
That's
like,
my
that
last
sucks.
dollar. I'm going to do it.
I gotta make it as an actor over there and buy my plane ticket back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that's where so many people, they go through life just thinking that, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, without focusing on what really matters to them. And, that's where there's some practical strategies that we can talk about minimalism and how actually just seeing, can minimalism work in my life?
Okay.
So for that, I like to always think about, like, is it possible to emotionally declutter? Can we release the attachment to the material possessions in order to actually, like, find clarity and fulfillment? And unfortunately, the only way to really test that is to test getting rid of items that we no longer use and see that our life fundamentally does not change without it being there.
Interesting. I see. So, okay. So you're saying basically, like, if I have 10 pants, like, right, you know me, I only wear shorts, right? You've seen me in pants maybe twice.
Yep.
And I got rid of all my pants, right?
I wouldn't say get rid of all your pants.
Not all of them.
I would say get rid of, if you don't wear any of your pants.
Say I have 6 pairs.
Okay.
Right. Get rid of 2 of them. See if that makes a dent.
Yeah, that could be up for you. Give it a try.
Yeah. And then if I'm like, oh, wow, I feel nothing. Oh, my God. Then I can get rid of some more, right? Basically.
If you want to. I think what the big thing is we're just figuring out that possessions mean nothing. The possessions, like the emotional resonance we give to possessions, is all in our mind.
True.
And so many people, they go through life purchasing more things, acquiring more things, and filling our house up with clutter, which not only fills up our physical house, but also our mental home, our mind with more clutter, more things of items that are now owning us. Now, when I have to clean my house, rather than just getting to clean the house, I have to move all of the items so that I can dust properly. I have to move all of these things that are just taking up mental bandwidth in my brain, that could they be better served with somebody else who maybe has less? Not with me when I already have 10 pairs of pants and I only wear shorts because I live in freaking Arizona.
That's true.
Do I really need 10 pairs of pants? Do I really need 6 pairs of hiking pants when I only go hiking once a week and I'm washing clothes once a week? Like, why do I need 6 pairs?
Yeah, that's fair.
And now it's taking this mental bandwidth that if I ever move, if someone ever comes and steals my 6 pairs of pants, like, oh God, or I could just release these things.
I'm sorry. The idea of them going into your closet and like, I'm taking his pants. They're mine.
It's just these hiking pants.
Exactly. I'm not
These
taking
511 hiking pants are mine.
Oh, those are nice pants.
Yeah.
I love the 511s.
Oh, they're good stuff.
They're so high quality. Oh man, I have 511 pants, and I swear they're like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And nothing's wrong with them.
Nope, they're so good.
So good.
The majority of this is a 511 shirt.
I love. Really? I have to get on that.
Simple.
Simple.
There's so many ways to like focus on that, and I think there's a lot of rules that like minimalism brings into your life that you can test out for yourself. One of the rules we talked about last time was the 90-90-90 rule of how many times do we keep things in our lives with the intention of, well, maybe one day I will use this.
Yeah.
And we have a house full of maybe one days I will use this item, and that day rarely ever comes where it was like, oh, thank God I had this extra pen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Thank God I had this or whatever.
I know for me, like that's how it is with certain shirts, where it's like, oh, I got this shirt. It might be, I know I have a section in my closet. It's just cream colored shirts, and why would I wear a cream colored shirt? I'm pasty as a wall. It doesn't. I don't think it looks good on me, but I like the shirt. So it's like, well, if I'm not using it, 90 days, haven't used it. 90 days from now, probably won't use it. And the shirts are probably like $10. So it's like, send it.
So maybe try, and if you have 5 shirts, get rid of 4 of them.
Yeah.
Keep one of them.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Maybe there might be a day that you might need a pasty shirt. I don't know.
For a pasty boy.
For a pasty boy. Or you can get rid of all of them and just say that, like, I'm never going to wear them. I mean, I've done that many times.
Yeah.
Where you just, like, get rid of them. And then I also think about, like, this might be able to go on to somebody who actually, like, will look good in, like, a pasty shirt.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and it's interesting. It's like, I've grown a lot from when I was buying a shirt that doesn't look good on me now. So now I know, like, color theory. Now I know what looks good with my eye color, with my skin color, with my hair color, all those things. So it's like, I'm a different person now. And I think it's good to adapt and upgrade and change and improve your life.
Yeah, we adapt and we evolve. I mean, think about going, like, to grandma's house and they have stuff from when they were Like they're like, oh, these bowls were back from the 20s, and it's like, I can tell.
I can tell. Is that lead?
Like why are we keeping this? Like you have so many other bowls. Why do we have these bowls too? I mean, I remember my grandma's house, and she was also a child of the Depression from Mexico, but like it's probably even worse there.
Probably, yeah.
Where like she would have so many of the exact same things over and over and over again. And after she passed, and it was like this, we had to declutter all of it, and it was ridiculous. Like it was bonanzas of trying to like go through all these things and we were calling people like to come like, hey, come and grab this stuff. We were calling all these charities to come and like take these things away, because that's a whole life of accumulation. Where I'm not saying that she was wrong to keep all those things, but like what purpose did the eighth bowl serve?
Yeah, I get that. And it's interesting how much an upbringing can affect a lifetime, you know, especially for clutter and stuff like that. Like she grew up in a place where it's like, not every dollar counts, every cent counts. Yep. Every penny counts. And, you know, a light switch left on, a bowl that's not, why upgrade when we have stuff right already? It's like, it's already, so it affected her whole life.
I agree. And I still agree that every dollar, every cent still counts, even today. But what I'm saying is, rather than going out and purchasing your 10th bowl set that you don't really need because you think it's going to bring you momentary happiness, can we divert that money towards something more intentional? Can we devote it to maybe experiences, or maybe even achieving financial independence and putting that towards your fine number? Yep. Can we put into investments and things that maybe aren't tangible? Like if I own an Apple stock, doesn't mean I can walk into an Apple store and be like, I'm a shareholder, give me my phone.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way, but I'm owning a tangible business that I have, with a reasonable degree of certainty, will continue to appreciate, that I can eventually sell for more money in order to fund my lifestyle.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that.
It's just a fundamental shift. That's all we're doing. We're just bringing it up as an option, that rather than going out and consciously consuming or unconsciously consuming, in order to attain happiness, is that even the game that we want to play?
Yeah. Quick dopamine versus long-lasting dopamine. You know, the quick hit of like Amazon purchase, you know, gamble, you know, versus like, like you said, like you have long-term dopamine for like your trip to Africa. You've been talking about it ever since I've met you, you know, and it's just that long cycle of dopamine. You're like, I'm so excited. I can't wait. And it's still a year out. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that a lot more.
So many people think that dopamine is the pleasure response, right? But dopamine is actually the thing that causes you to seek the joy.
Okay.
So it's the thing that's the striving. That's what dopamine is released. It's the striving. When you attain it, it ends. True. It's the attaining, the wanting, the desiring, the more things. And you know, there's so many different ways to be a minimalist. One thing that I like is the 1 in 1 out rule. As additional to that is, if you're going to bring another thing into your life that you already have a bunch of, so say you want another cream color shirt for whatever reason, you have to get rid of one cream color shirt before you bring it in. And it makes you question yourself. All it does is it breaks up the stimulus and response. So now instead of me just saying, oh, there's another cream color shirt, I'm going to buy it. You go, all right, I'm going to get rid of this. If I buy this cream color shirt, I have to get rid of a cream color shirt. Which one of my cream color shirts that I currently have don't meet its need? And then you might ask yourself, like, I never even wear these. Why am I purchasing another freaking one?
Yeah, because it's like I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't have any hangers. I don't want to go buy any more hangers because I have it on clothes that I don't wear. So it's like, I'm in a really weird catch-22 here.
You know what? Maybe that might be the way to achieve financial independence. Less hangers so you can't buy more things.
Exactly. Having a small pantry, it
less
works.
Drawer space.
Less drawer space, everything. Yep. Yeah, that's the move.
But that's the hard part about, like, when so many people here in America, it's like you need to purchase a bigger house. You need to get a bigger job. You need to get a bigger whatever. And those bigger things come with bigger purchases. When you purchase the bigger house, now you have 3 empty rooms that, now I need to fill those with things.
Yep.
And all of that money is taking away from what actually might bring you joy. If it truly brings you joy to have 2 empty rooms that do nothing half the year, great. Yeah. Like, then that's you. But I would much rather focus on no longer having to work a job every day that I hate in order to sustain having these 2 extra rooms that I have.
Yeah.
It's really about just living with intention.
Yes. That's honestly, if you're going to take anything from this podcast, it's just live with intention. Like, write out your goals and work towards them and make decisions within the margin of, does this get me closer or does this get me further away from that goal? Yeah,
because so many people, when you go out and you make these purchases of things that don't really add value, you are foregoing your long-term happiness for a short-term dopamine release, just like the gambler who thinks this next one's going to be the one that hits. And I know it's hard for people to even like think about that if I forego happiness for long enough, and you shouldn't forego happiness entirely, but forego the little dopamine hits that don't really achieve anything for you, and divert that money towards living with intention, how far we can go and how much faster we can get there without money being taken away to purchase little things that mean nothing to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's the epitome of the rat race, right?
It's weird that you bring that up since we were talking about Ratatouille before this. I think that was off the pod.
Off the pod.
I don't think that was in the pod, but yeah, no, I mean, it's like that hedonic treadmill you keep talking about in past podcasts. It's like once you start, it's hard to get off, especially when it comes to like keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the status of, people's opinions. Yeah,
and I always ask the question, like, do you really want to keep up with the Joneses? Are the Joneses maybe fucking broke? And we don't want to talk about it. Do you want to be that person? I can just say, like, from my own life, the reason that I was able to, the reason that I'm able to do this podcast every week, the reason I'm able to run my own company, the reason I'm able to do all these things is because at one point in my life, I decided that I am happy with having less things in order for me to focus on what is most important for me. And for me, it was going to be, one day when I have kids, I want to make sure that they never have to think of a time that their dad wasn't there, because their dad was working in order to support them. So I have forgone a lot of things in my life that I am 100% okay with not having in order to have that, in order to have that peace of mind, that autonomy, that never having to work for somebody else.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's, starting with the powerful why makes the how easy.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that.
But sometimes I understand it's hard to release the attachments of those material possessions. It is. And we talked about that last time on the pod, where you were talking about your phone and like how many photos you have, and how difficult it is for you to be like, oh, I have to get rid of like some of these photos. Yeah. It's the exact same thing for people and their possessions. But the only way that we can test it is by actually trying and seeing like, oh, if I get rid of these things, I didn't die.
No, I'm still alive.
I'm still alive. Everything's happy. And now maybe the things that I have left have that much more importance to me.
Yeah. My cream colored shirts will live on in someone else's closet.
Yeah, but just like your photos, like rather than having 1,000 photos from a vacation, can I have 3 really great photos? And now rather than having my joy be spread out amongst 1,000 photos, it's spread amongst these 3 really, really great photos. Yeah. Same with people and their things.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you can compromise on everything, or on some things you can't compromise on everything, And for me, it's like the photos and the videos, it's like it's like destroying history.
And that's okay.
And
that's okay. That's what minimalism is supposed to be. For other people who are talking about, when we talk about like getting rid of possessions, it might be the exact same thing for them.
That's exactly. So that's how I like relate it to like, well, I don't want to get rid of this like cup because this was the cup that little baby Chris drank his first apple juice out of when he was a little baby. So it's like, how can a mother get rid of that? So it's like, I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it, So, yeah, I mean, having mindful practices, and continually reevaluating the things in your house and things not just in your house, but in your life, and making sure that they align with your life and the person you want to be.
And it's difficult because I think even you realize that, like, okay, does it make logical sense that I need to have 1,000 photos? No, it doesn't. But that we've attached emotional resonance to these 1,000 photos. You have attached a piece of yourself to these 1,000 photos. So to kill those is like to kill yourself.
Yeah,
that's really scary. And unfortunately, a lot of people do the exact same thing with their possessions. They become their car. They become their house. That's why when you see someone like keying their car, like people lose their fucking minds. Yeah. And then, like, rightfully so. Don't key people's car. Don't
key people's car. That's a good tip.
Don't be an asshole. But
action step of the day.
But I mean, truthfully, if you really think about it, like if someone is like invading your house and like you're not there, you're in the safest place that you can possibly be.
Fair.
But so many people will they take that as like, I am dying. If someone takes some of my possessions, they are taking a piece of me, and they're willing to put themselves in dire situations in order to save something that it was okay going away, because they would have still survived.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the exact same thing with your life and the way you spend your money. Yeah. The exact same thing. That's the way I look at it.
I think that's a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah.
I think that's a healthy way to look at it. What's our next segment?
I say we kind of get into the viewer mailbag. I think we've talked mostly about this, but just focusing on minimalism, getting rid of things, I believe is the best way to see that the things don't own you. You own the things. The joy was never in the things.
No.
The joy was always in the pursuit of it, of the pursuit of wanting more. And the moment that you attain that thing that you were pursuing, that you wanted so much, it was the dopamine hit, right? It's the pursuit that you're going for. And the moment you achieved it, the dopamine stopped because the pursuit had ended. But now what we do is we now start pursuing the next thing in order to get the dopamine started again. How can I get to the next thing? Where instead of pursuing material objects, can we pursue experiences? Can we pursue mastery of ourselves? Can we pursue so many other things? I think the thing that people want is to feel like they're continuously growing in whatever area is most important to them.
Correct.
And unfortunately, the thing that most people, due to the system that we have set up, due to constant marketing of every single thing all the time.
And culture,
is rather than pursuing mastery of yourself, mastery of jujitsu, mastery of your fitness, whatever, it's how much shit can I accumulate fast enough to show other people that I have made it. And do you want, is that the game you want to play?
And it's all a lie, basically.
It's all a lie.
Yeah, it's all a lie.
So our action step for the week is I'm going to be doing a packing party, which means on April 1st, when this releases, I'm going to be getting rid of one item.
Is that a joke?
No.
Get it? April 1st.
Oh,
April Fool's. That's good.
Joke.
No, but actually, you're going to do a packing party.
so-
You want to explain that?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a packing party. So our Monday pod released on April 1st. Now it's what? It'll be releasing on the 5th or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
So once this one releases on the 5th on Friday feedback, I'll have gotten rid of 10 items at that point. No more than 10 items. 13 items.
13.
So on day 1, 1 item's getting rid of. Day 2, 2 items. Day 3, 3 items. This through the whole house. By the end of the month of April, which I think has 30 days in it.
Probably.
30 days, I'll have gotten rid of like 500 some odd items in my house, which is going to show me that like I don't need all these things. And then maybe next time that I feel the urge to buy something, I'm going to look at that because there's going to be a time where when I'm getting rid of something this week or even today when I'm choosing something, I would have thought when I purchase this thing, I'm finally going to be happy.
Interesting.
And now here I am years later getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it brings no value to me.
If you don't see me on next week's pod,
I got rid of
I got rid of me.
Yep.
I love that. I think that's a really healthy thing to do. I like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna do that in my own. I just moved, so there's not much in my house.
Yeah,
but
but it's good for you to start thinking like, how much stuff do I need to bring into this house? And this is the next thing that I bring in really going to bring me joy or happiness. I think pushing through discomfort is what makes you grow.
Okay.
And getting rid of things, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. But when it's gone, it's the same with a cold plunge. It doesn't feel good when you're doing it. But once it's over, you're like, wow. Same with a workout.
I did something difficult.
A workout, everything. Climbing to the top of a mountain. It's all difficult. But when you get to the top, you're like, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, I say we move on to our viewer mailbag.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of the week, honestly. So the title on this one's kind of wild.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for escaping a toxic work environment? Okay. Alrighty. So here's our advice. But before we get to that, we got to give the story. So, dear Fi Guys, have you ever found yourself trapped in a job that drains your soul?
I have.
Yep. Leaving you counting down the minutes until you can escape it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. I'm writing to you from a place at the bottom of the office, the dungeon. I'm writing to you from a place of frustration, and I find myself stuck in a job that has become nothing short of unbearable. Picture this: an open office layout, dismal pay, zero insurance, and no benefits. And on top of that, I'm forced to sit uncomfortably close to my boss, weird, all day long. It's as if every aspect of this job is designed to strip away any last ounce of motivation and joy I might have had.
Wow.
As someone who's prioritized financial stability, it's surreal to admit that I've reached a point where the paycheck is no longer something that holds any sway over my decision-making process. I've realized that no amount of money is worth sacrificing my mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
True.
Glad you came to that conclusion.
Have you ever experienced something similar? If so, I'd love to hear your story and any advice you might have on it. And how did you navigate through the darkness and find a glimmer of hope on the other side? Did you take a leap of faith to find another job? Or did you search for something else? Or what happened? I'm at a crossroads.
Tell me the secret.
Tell me the secret. What's the secret sauce? I'm at a crossroads and I'm searching for guidance from those who have walked the path before. So if you have a moment to spare, please share your wisdom with me. Looking forward to hearing from you on the podcast. Thank you. From stuck in a rut, seeking to break free, but I'm locked into the grind and I'm hoping to provide some peace of mind. Hoping that you can provide some peace of mind.
Oh, like he's hoping that he can provide himself.
I butchered that one. It's hungry. I'm hungry.
It's hungry.
It's hungry. Yeah. The hungrier I get, the longer the pod goes on. I'm like, food. Where's that McRib?
I need a McRib.
Yeah, where's that McRib? Okay, so a lot to unpack here.
Man, this guy sounds like he is in a dark place.
He is in a dungeon.
You know what I imagine right now? This is based off like him saying like his boss is next to him. Is like, all right, so here's the office, right? And like his boss is like on a cubicle. It's like right above him. He's like right here, and like you're the employee, and you're like typing. And he's like, you spelled that word wrong.
Error
404. Like you suck. Man, okay. So there's a lot to unpack here. So first off, to our writer, bro, this sounds like it just sucks. Like it sounds like you're really in it. And I can tell you that I have been here before. I've been in this job. The only thing I have not been in this job is where you put that you were underpaid and getting no benefits. I've been in this job while I was getting paid and having benefits and everything was great, and I still hated it. Yeah. So like now you're even in a worse situation because at least there's no monetary anything.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the reason that we pursue financial independence. Mm-hmm. It's not so that there's a difference between financial independence and the FIRE movement, right? FIRE movement came first, financial independence, retire early. I'm all about financial independence. I could give less of a shit about the retire early. Like, no one's going to retire from doing anything. You're always going to pursue your passions and want to do things. Mm-hmm. But everyone should try to attain financial independence because you never know when life changes and when you don't want to continue doing what you're doing.
God, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And this is a perfect example. Like, you said that you really prioritize financial stability. So the first question I got to ask you is like, what have you set up for yourself? Like, it sounds to me like you've already made your decision. You want out of this job. Mm-hmm. And if you have chosen that getting out of this job is worth more than dealing with like the mental anguish, then I agree with you. It probably is worth it.
Yeah. And like, I know you said, he's built a good financial picture around him. Do you have any side money coming in?
Yep.
A side hustle? Do you have any stocks that are paying you dividends maybe? Is there anything that can supplement the money you're getting from this soul-sucking job?
Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of wondering, because he says he prioritizes financial stability. So do we have like 6 months of runway? Do we have an emergency fund? Do we have all this stuff? Because I can tell you that searching for another job, you do so much better being able to search for a job when you already have a job, when you're coming from a position of power. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I'm concerned about is like, say we don't have any emergency fund. We are like kind of like, we're in a good situation. A good situation is we're like living paycheck to paycheck. We're not overextending our means, but we're still paycheck to paycheck. And now we're going to go ahead and decide, all right, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to figure it out real quick. Well, now you're going to end up inside the same exact situation because you're desperate and you're going to take the first job that comes to you, which honestly might be the exact same thing. You're coming out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. Like the grass might not be greener on the other side. We don't know. But I have experienced this exact same thing, and it's really tough. And that's the reason that we pursue financial independence, so that when things do change, we can also change with them. Mm-hmm. But before you consider like leaving this job, is there anything you can do to make it better? Like, can you talk to your boss? Can you try to like,
hey boss,
just turn to the side.
Yeah, turn to your side. There. Yeah. You're saying.
Yeah, there's so many things that we can do, but like if you have decided like this job is soul sucking, I can't do it anymore, then I don't understand why you're still there. Like, why have you not? Are you trying to pursue other jobs? Are you looking for other things? Like, what's going on with that? Are you just looking for me to give you permission to quit? Then go for it. Like, do what you want to do, but you have to remember that there is a second and third order consequence to quitting, and that is having no income, especially if you don't have any other thing coming in. So can you start working on a side project? Can we do anything to start bringing in additional income before we quit our job? Because I don't know what your financial situation is. So this would be, if I knew that, then maybe we can give you a little bit more information regarding that.
Yeah, absolutely. You could also explore other options. A different job. Maybe you could sidestep.
That's what I've been saying.
I know, but like maybe a different portion in the same company. Maybe that way you don't have to like leave the company itself. Like maybe he's in marketing. Maybe he wants to be in a different, like maybe advertisement or like design. You know, he could give his insights on where market trends are heading and maybe something like that, because I know like leaving your job for another job can be even scarier, because it's like, what if it sucks over there? What if I hate it? What if I'm hated over there? I can't exactly come back. So that way, if he sidesteps into a different area,
a different lateral inside the company.
I'm like, maybe that'll be better. Maybe the culture will be better. I would assume like the culture at the graphic design level is better than the culture at like the legal side.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's an option.
Yeah, maybe that could be. I mean, it sounds like he really wants out of this company. So maybe a lateral would be a good idea while you pursue other job opportunities to look for another place entirely, one that jives better with you and everything that you're looking for, without having to take the financial sacrifice and like the real sacrifice of getting rid of everything, kind of burning the ships, as it were, and then hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Like, hope is not a strategy here. And I don't have enough information to know if he's able to take the financial hit of just going to zero income for a little bit of time.
Most people aren't.
Yeah, because that's a very scary place, especially if you're there and you're there for longer than you plan to be. Because so many people think like, oh, I just got to get out of work, I'll apply for unemployment or something, I'll have a new job in like a month.
Yeah.
But how often does that actually happen? It usually takes a lot more time for people to find a job, even if you're trying to find a minimum wage job.
Definitely.
How many minimum wage jobs are like 6 years of experience required and a degree?
Yeah, right? It doesn't happen. Yeah, so, I like the idea of exploring other job opportunities, either within or, if you have to, without.
Yeah.
Like you said, it kind of seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore. Who would?
Yeah, but you can even like look at like side hustle stuff, and if you're doing like side hustle stuff, like maybe like not YouTube or podcast stuff like that, things that take long runways. Can you like drive Uber? Can you do things that are going to put money immediately in your pocket, giving you a little bit more of a runway and more of that cushion, that safety net that gets you out of this situation?
Yeah,
because like if you're really hating your day to day, and I've been there. I remember like working my 9-to-5 job, waking up at 4 a.m. so I can go work out. And then at 6 a.m. I'm sitting in my closet, like trying to debate with myself if I should go to work today, or if maybe I'm feeling sick. Cause like
you hate your life.
You just hate every single day.
Yeah.
So that's where it really becomes important that we try to find small ways to reclaim joy in our life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because your job doesn't mean everything. And I think some people think like, oh, I hate my job and I hate my life. Like you can't have everything. So can you have fun outside of work and like joyous things that, yeah, it sucks that you have to go to work the next day, but at least like when you're outside of work, you're liking life. Because some people, they hate work so much that they go home and then they just veg out because they had such a shitty day at work. And now there's like no joy, no nothing. And now they just know I'm gonna have to repeat this same cycle forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important to, when picking a habit outside of work, is to pick a habit that's healthy. Because you could easily just, oh, I'm just going to go to the bar after work. Like you said, I'm going to veg out. And both of those things, if you're not controlling the moderation level, it can play into having a crappy life. You're like, oh, I'll wake up hungover. Now I really don't want to have to go to work. I eat way too much. It's like, now I feel guilty. And you just start hating on yourself and hating it. It's just like a terrible cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. But from a guy who has done this before, like I have worked a job that I've hated and everything. And that's the reason that I pursued financial independence so hard. It's because I hated my job and I was like, I need to get out of this. And the only way I thought that I could get out of it was I need to at least have this much money in the bank account before I do it. And, I was able to leave my job lateral and have enough runway that I was able to pursue my passions, pursue starting a business, starting the podcast, starting YouTube, all the things that we're doing now.
Yeah.
And that was because financial independence gave us the opportunity to do that. And so much of it is about intentional lifestyle design, which right now it sounds like you've kind of fallen into where you are and just kind of thinking like, oh, I'm just passively stuck in this. But you can make your reality of getting out of it and making the situation substantially better. But you need to take control by taking control of your finances or finding a job that you like while still at the job, or having something. Like you need to have a safety net. And I don't know if we have a safety net right now. So I can't tell you beyond a reasonable degree like that it's a good decision to just straight up quit your job with, I'm going to go and find a better job faster.
Yeah, I agree. I think, there's not much to say on that. I agree with 100% of what you're saying. I love the idea of the side hustle though. Anything to start building income outside, because you're not just building income, you're building freedom, but it's like you're building distance from the thing that's holding you back.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. It's like every dollar made is further another inch away from the job that you hate. And I love that.
Yeah. But I think it's also important that we tell him that he needs to trust his own instincts and prioritize his happiness.
Yes.
Because while for us, it's easy to say like, you need to have another thing set up before you go.
Yeah.
Because right now you're saying that your job doesn't pay you very much money. It gives you no benefits, no insurance, no nothing. So it's probably like an entry-level job. That makes me assume that you don't have a huge nest egg, like kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
You're probably younger, and this kind of maybe like a first job or something like that.
Could be.
This is definitely the time that we need to figure out like, where do we want to go? And sometimes working a shitty job, while it may be shitty, is the catalyst that people need to start saying like, I need things to change. What can I do to make that change? Like people aren't often willing to change when everything's going well in their life.
I agree.
You know, think about like immigrants coming to America. No one got in a boat, went across the Atlantic and hoping that things are going to work well unless things were really, really bad in their country and they were able to find happiness in a different location. It's going to be the same thing for you. This opportunity, which you're currently in, while it may suck right now, it's pushing you to find something better.
Yeah.
Maybe 100%. Something like financial independence, where it's going to give you that growth of like, I need to continue to pursue it because I never want to be in this situation again.
Bingo.
That's the pressure that's going to make you a diamond.
I love that. Yeah. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
I think this person, they can become great if they truly believed and they truly worked hard. But like you said, pressure builds the diamond.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've made your decision already. You want to leave the job, and that's totally fine. Just make sure that you have the runway to be able to find a new job and a new opportunity. You know, keep on listening to us. We're going to continue to talk about how to make more money, how to spend less money, because both of those levers you can pull in order to really live a life that you've designed for yourself, rather than just kind of living the standard American way of like, we just mindlessly make money and consume, mindlessly make money and consume.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So send you big hugs from Arizona, man. Good luck on your decision. If you ever want to, you can always reach out to Chris at monsonwealth.com or reach out to us through the Fi Guys and we can go through that way. But yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I think that's it. Mm-hmm. He's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. You know, it's always scarier in the mind than it is in reality.
Yeah.
You know, and just got to give that. You know what's interesting about fear? This is something I've learned in my own life is like, fear is also scared of you.
Yeah.
You know, but if you run towards the fear will run away, you know? And once you get the fear, it's like, oh, this isn't scary at all.
Yeah. And I think this viewer knows that. And I think at the end of the day, he's not asking us like, should I quit this job? He already knows what he's going to do. He's asking us, have you ever experienced this?
Yeah.
And then like, that's what he's asking us.
Yes.
And we can say like, we both experienced this before. We both made it through it. But the reason we were able to make it through it so well is because we pursued financial independence, because we had the runway, because we had other options. We weren't just holding to this one job for this income. You know, we had other things, which I'm not sure if you have yet. And if you do, great, send it.
Yeah.
If you don't, let's try to figure out how we set ourselves up so that when this situation comes up again in life, because it very well likely will, we can make a different choice faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But good luck from Arizona. We wish you the best. And now it's time for Win of the Week.
Win of the Week.
So my win of the week is I finally got to train with you. We did some core. We did some arms. We had a great workout. Did some kettlebell stuff. Messed around. We did some stuff on the Bosa ball, the half ball. That was cool. Or some core. He's teaching me a little bit about the core. Yeah, that's my win of the week. Got to train with you, buddy.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was cool. You know, and the one thing I was thinking about with you is, remember there was like, I was like trying to teach you how to like to train muscles that you didn't even know that you had.
Yeah. This like weird, like you got your upper core, your lower core, and then you had this like one that wraps around all the way to the back, and then you blow out all your air and you can feel it. And I've been like training it a little bit more and like trying to like feel it, and I've been feeling it a lot more.
Good. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about that, and I was wondering, like, someone was asking me, like, well, why do I work with a financial advisor when like everything you need to know is online? It's like that's true, but just like you, with like not even knowing that there was a muscle there to work out, if you don't even know the question, how are you going to get it answered?
Yes.
And so that's what I brought up to them. I brought up the story with you, me like teaching, like there's another muscle in your abs you didn't even know you had. And I taught you how to like feel it, and you're like, oh.
It's like I've unlocked a new muscle.
Yeah,
perfect.
A new power level.
A new power level, exactly.
So when I told him that, he's like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand why you work with an advisor, because that way you know what questions to even ask sometimes.
Exactly. So what's your win of the week?
My win of the week actually has something to do, it's kind of funny that you bring up this one, this viewer mailbag. Mine's not very similar, but kind of similar.
Okay.
But my wife, she actually chose to not take a promotion in order to continue to design the life of intention that we have. So I know that the normal American system and normal world system is like, if you get a promotion, you get offered more money, like you take it. 100%. Like that's the way you're going to continue to be able to buy more things, is by taking another jobs. Well, my wife and I, she chose, and we made the decision together that she would have the opportunity to take on an ownership role in her company. But when you take on an ownership role, you also take on a lot more responsibility, a lot more risk, a lot more concern. And for us at this time in our lives, like we're going to soon be getting ready to start a family. Right now, we're currently traveling a lot. Like, does adding ownership of a company, is that going to add more stress or more joy into our life? Well, it may bring in more money, probably, most likely it would have, but we'll also be bringing in more stress on these trips. Will we be able to go on the trips we have? Well, bringing in a child while mom's like having to constantly like deal with fires and stuff like that, is that really worth it? Or does she want to continue just to live a life where she knows I am working these hours? When I'm there 100%. But when I'm gone, I am gone 100%. Yeah. Rather than when you're an ownership model, we both own businesses. Yeah. You don't turn it off.
No, you don't.
Where, maybe it's you have a financial, there's a give and take. Like you're giving up something financially. You can't have that exponential growth that business ownership can have, but you also don't have to have that concern, that fear, that anxiety that permeates business ownership of all times.
Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect that. I think it's tough turning down a promotion, especially when you work hard and it's like, oh wow, it's like more money. It's tempting. But I think that's like you were saying earlier, Socrates, you're saying know thyself.
Yep. And know when enough is enough.
Yep.
And like my wife and I, we live an amazing life, and could it be a more amazing life? Maybe. But I always think of like when I was making $30,000, like right out of college, like first job. And I was like, man, if I make it to 60, I'll be so happy. Yeah. Made it to 60. And it's like, man, if I make it to 100, finally I'll be happy. Yeah. Made it to 100. If I make it to 200, I'll finally be happy. Made it there. And like we keep on doing this. And eventually I came to the realization that the money has nothing to do with it, because if I keep on making more money, I'm just going to keep on spending more money, but my happiness doesn't increase. Or we can focus on experiences, on being together, on intangibles. I think too many people, they focus on the tangible things that they can see. How much money am I making? That's tangible. That's quantifiable. Yeah. The quantifiable goals rather than the unquantifiable goals. Like, how good is my marriage? How good is my relationship with my friends, with my family? How many trips do I get to go on? I guess that's quantifiable, but the quality of my trips that I get to go on, that's not quantifiable. No. So don't let the quantifiable goals always oversee or overshadow the unquantifiable.
Absolutely.
Because the unquantifiable is far more important. When you look back on your life, on your deathbed, you're going to focus more on the relationships you had, the people that you met, the people you impacted, far more than how much money you're dying with, because you're going to take it with you.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Well, that's our win of the week.
It's our win of the week. That was our show on minimalism.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember the fee for the show.
Yeah.
Tell a friend if you enjoyed it. And share this financially independent journey with someone else. It's always better to go with a friend. Yeah,
bring a friend along with you.
Yep. And I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Until next time. We'll see you later.
Bye. Peace.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.